Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Paul Heyman drops a huge hint about his WWE return after Roman Reigns reunites with Sami Zayn. Paul Heyman has dropped another hint at his highly anticipated return in the aftermath of this week's episode of WWE SmackDown. The OG bloodline is officially back together, bearing Heyman, whose absence continues to puzzle fans. Jey Uso had requested Sami Zayn to show up at SmackDown to settle his issues with Roman Reigns. Though the two didn't get along in the night's opening segment, by the end of the show, they were back on the same page. Zayn rejected Solo Sikoa's proposal to join his side in the War Games match at Survivor Series 2024 and made it clear his loyalties remain with the OG bloodline. Just an hour after the show, Paul Heyman took to his Instagram and shared a clip of Sam Roberts on his podcast discussing Heyman's return. Roman and Jimmy are together. Jey trusts Jimmy but not Roman. Roman is not thrilled with Jey regardless of the yeet, and Jimmy doesn't trust Sami, and Sami hates everyone except for Jey. And everyone in Bluldine is fighting from individual perspectives. What's happened is we've got the bloodline back. The OG bloodline is back together, Sam said. Roberts mentioned that the Wisemen needed to get back on WWE TV and provide guidance to Reigns and co. as they head to war with Bloodline. But they don't have a plan. They need a strategy. They need a special counsel. Paul Heyman left WWE television after the Bloodline destroyed him, and since then, he's done one interview by himself, and that interview was with me. When I asked him when he was coming back, he said when I was needed. I've never felt this strongly, that the Wiseman is officially needed, said Sam Roberts in the clip. A few hours before this week's WWE SmackDown, the wrestling world began wondering if Heyman could return to the show after he was spotted in NY. However, as it turned out, the Wiseman did not appear in the episode. A report by Fightful also noted how Paul Heyman was not a stranger to being backstage at WWE shows without coming up on TV. Considering fans have been waiting with bated breath to see him get back with his former stablemates, it remains to be seen when the promotion finally pulls the trigger on his return. The WWE Universe has been buzzing ever since Roman Reigns reunited with Sami Zayn on SmackDown. The reunion was unexpected, leaving fans excited but also curious about what this new chapter could mean for the bloodline. In the middle of all the excitement, Paul Heyman, the mastermind behind some of the most iconic alliances in WWE history, dropped a cryptic hint about his return to WWE. Heyman's words were elusive, calculated, and filled with the kind of layered meaning that only he could deliver. This hint has left fans speculating wildly about what role he might play in the shifting dynamics of Reigns' empire and how it might impact the renewed alliance with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's return to the bloodline marked a surprising twist in the group's saga. Zayn's initial involvement with the bloodline had always been a bit unorthodox. Known for his quirky personality and comedic timing, Sami seemed an unusual addition to a faction defined by dominance, family loyalty, and ruthless ambition. But over time, he proved his loyalty and became a vital member of the family, winning the hearts of WWE fans and even earning the approval of Roman Reigns. When Sami was exiled from the bloodline months ago, it left fans devastated, especially after his emotional clash with Jey Uso. The storyline seemed like it had reached its natural end, and fans didn't expect to see Zayn back with Reigns anytime soon. But this reunion on SmackDown threw all those assumptions out the window, leaving fans wondering if the tribal chief had truly forgiven Zayn, or if this was all part of a larger plan. And with Paul Heyman's recent tease, it seems there may be even more surprises waiting in the wings. Following the SmackDown reunion, Paul Heyman took to social media to drop an enigmatic message. The post didn't say much directly, but it included a photo of him backstage with a simple caption, "A chief never forgets his loyal advisors." Below the caption, Heyman added a single line that fans couldn't stop dissecting: "The circle is nearly complete." This short message sent the WWE Universe into a frenzy. For many, "the circle is nearly complete" suggested that Heyman had a plan in motion, a masterstroke that he'd been working on behind the scenes. Was Heyman hinting at a return to the bloodline? Was he possibly planning a new alliance with Zayn and Reigns? Or could he have something even more dramatic in mind? Heyman's history as a wise man and his years of experience manipulating rivalries and alliances only fueled the speculation. His return would undoubtedly add depth and drama to the bloodline storyline. But the question remains, would Heyman return as an ally, an antagonist, or perhaps as a double agent? Paul Heyman's alliance with Roman Reigns has been one of the most successful partnerships in WWE history. As Reigns' special counsel, Heyman played a pivotal role in building the bloodline's power and cementing Reigns' reputation as the tribal chief. His guidance helped Roman maintain his dominance over WWE, outmaneuver rivals, and bring together the family under one banner. But Heyman's tenure hasn't been without turmoil. The departures and betrayals within the bloodline have made his position less secure. Heyman's cryptic hint comes at a time when the bloodline's power seems to be shifting. With Sami Zayn's unexpected return, the dynamics within the faction are more complex than ever. Heyman's presence could bring stability and strategic direction, especially if Zayn's reunion with Reigns is indeed genuine. But as always with Heyman, there's a risk of betrayal. He's known for turning on allies when the opportunity is right, and the prospect of a power struggle within the bloodline seems likely with Heyman involved. The biggest question surrounding Heyman's return is how it would affect Sami Zayn's position in the bloodline. Sami's relationship with Roman Reigns has always been one of admiration and loyalty mixed with tension. Despite Zayn's loyalty, Reigns had doubts about Sami's place in the bloodline, often seeing him as an outsider who had to prove his worth repeatedly. Now that Zayn has returned, his presence may disrupt the family's fragile balance, especially if Heyman is back in the picture. Heyman's loyalty has always been to Reigns alone, not to the bloodline as a whole. If he believes Zayn could pose a threat to Reigns' rule, he might manipulate events to push Zayn back out of the faction or worse, set up a betrayal that could weaken Zayn emotionally and strategically. Heyman has the cunning and influence to turn Zayn into a scapegoat, orchestrating a scenario where Roman questions Zayn's true intentions. However, if Heyman sees potential in Zayn's loyalty and relationship with Reigns, he might embrace him as part of the strategy to strengthen the bloodline. Heyman could recognize that Zayn's unique charisma and connection with the WWE Universe make him an asset, adding an unexpected layer to the bloodline's influence. Fans have been buzzing since Heyman's cryptic message, creating a whirlwind of theories online. Some believe Heyman's return could signal a betrayal storyline, in which he plants seeds of doubt in Reigns' mind about Zayn's loyalty, ultimately orchestrating Zayn's downfall. Others think Heyman will rejoin the bloodline to act as a stabilizing force, pulling the group together under Roman's leadership and helping to unite them against potential new threats from other WWE superstars. Another fan theory suggests that Heyman could use his return to elevate Zayn and give him a more prominent role within the faction. With his experience and knowledge of WWE's inner workings, Heyman might mentor Zayn, guiding him to become more than just a loyal follower and transforming him into a legitimate force within the faction. This alliance would create a fresh dynamic within the bloodline, potentially shifting the focus from Roman's domination to a more unified powerhouse team. Heyman's hinted return has the potential to shape several major storylines in WWE. If he returns to bolster the bloodline, it would solidify their position as the faction to beat, heightening their dominance over WWE's roster. Heyman's involvement would also attract fresh rivalries, as other superstars might see the bloodline's unity as an obstacle to their own ambitions. On the other hand, if Heyman's return leads to internal conflict, it could trigger the downfall of the bloodline. The tension between loyalty and power could become the focal point, especially if Reigns begins to suspect that Zayn might threaten his role as tribal chief. In such a scenario, Heyman's return would be less about reinforcing the faction and more about setting the stage for a major breakup, one that could leave the WWE Universe stunned. As fans eagerly await Heyman's next move, it's hard to predict exactly how he'll influence the unfolding events. Known for his mind games and penchant for manipulation, Heyman has always been able to turn the tide of any storyline. He could easily return as the puppet master, working behind the scenes to shape the bloodline's future to his liking, or as the savior, a guiding force who helps the family stay united amidst new challenges. In many ways, Heyman's next move could determine the legacy of the bloodline itself. Will he be the architect of their next great chapter, or will he set the wheels in motion for their eventual implosion? The WWE Universe waits with bated breath, knowing that whatever happens next, it will be unforgettable. Paul Heyman's cryptic message has added a new layer of intrigue to the bloodline saga. His hinted return promises to bring depth, drama, and perhaps even a power struggle to WWE's most compelling faction. For Roman Reigns, Heyman's presence could either be a blessing or a curse, depending on what the wise man has planned. For Sami Zayn, it's a reminder that loyalty alone may not be enough to secure his place in the bloodline. As WWE fans anticipate the fallout from Heyman's message, one thing is clear: the bloodline's future is uncertain, and with Heyman in the picture, anything can happen. Whether he returns to restore unity or sow discord, Heyman's presence will make an impact that the WWE Universe won't soon forget.